Hi dear students, I am Srinivas sir, taking the science for 5th standard. I hope all are very well and taking care about the corona. In this session, we will learn more about this flower. In the last class, I have explained what is the characteristics. What are the characteristics of the plant? What are the characteristics of plants? Once again, I will repeat: movement, breathing, sensitive, life cycle, food, reproduction, and excretion. These are all the what are characteristics of plants? Characteristics of plants. When you come to the flower, here in this chapter, this is the important topic what we have to learn. The topic name is flower plants decoration. When you take a plant, when you see the plant, the attractive part is in the plant is flower. The attractive part is the flower. Okay, when you see anything, any flowers, for example, rose, they are very, very attractive. Some decoration in marriages and birthdays and in all the functions, they use the flowers for decoration because for their attractiveness, for their attractiveness. Okay, we put them on the guard also. Okay, because therefore the flowers are very, very important part of the plant. For what purpose? Because for the purpose of reproduction. Because the purpose of reproduction, that means to form seeds. To form seeds, this flower is very, very important thing in the flower, important part in the flower. Okay, now we'll go in detail, in brief about this flower. Okay, open the page number 6. Page number 6, I will read up to 5-6 lines, then I will explain. Structure of a flower. The parts of any flower are separated into male and female parts and other parts. Male parts, stamen. This is the male part of a flower. It is made up of filament and anther. It is the pollen producing part of the flower. The number of stamen is usually the same as the number of petals. Anther. This part of stamen produces and contains pollen. It is usually on top of a long stalk that looks like a fine hair. Filament. This is the fine hair-like stalk that holds the anther. Next, female parts. Pistil. This is the female part of the flower. It is made up of stigma, style, ovary and ovule. Stigma. It is the sticky bulb visible at the center of a flower. It traps and holds the pollen. Pollen germinate on stigma. Pollens germinate on stigma. Style. It is a tube-like structure that holds up the stigma. It leads down to the ovary that contains the ovule. Ovary. It is usually situated at the bottom of the flower. It has seeds present inside them that turn into fruits. Ovule, the part of the ovary that becomes the seed. Other parts, petal. It is the colorful and bright part of a flower. It attracts pollinators like insects and humans. That is why we buy and enjoy flowers. Sepal, the green and small parts that have leaf-like structure at the base of a flower. It covers the outside of a flower bud for protecting the flower before it blooms. I hope you seen the textbook. Okay, while I am reading. At the time of the class, please take the books which are necessary for your class. Okay, please keep along with you the books, pen, pencil, everything. When you have a doubt, just write the doubt there only and ask in the last, then we will clarify. Or at the time of the class only you ask, okay, we will clarify the doubts. Okay, here they are given the structure of a flower, how the structure. See, I have written, I hope the figure is good, I hope, but not 100%. Okay, I hope this is a flower, how this flower looks like. Okay, here they have given the structure of a flower. Here these are the male parts, which are the filament and anther are the male parts, or the stamen is the male part. Male part. And this pistil is the female part. This is the female part. Male part and female part. The parts of any flower are separated into male and female parts and other parts. Male parts and female parts. Okay, female parts and male parts. The flower is divided into male parts and female parts and other parts. Okay, here first we will discuss about what are the male parts. What are the male parts and what are the functions of the male parts. What are the functions of the male parts? First, male parts. This is the male part of stamen. We call it as stamen. This is the male part of a flower. It is made up of filament and anther. See, this is the filament. This is the filament, tube-like structure, and this is the anther. This is the anther and this is the filament. Okay, anther. Anther. It is the pollen-producing part of a flower. Here, this is the pollen-producing part of a flower. This is called as pollens. This is called as pollen. They are producing the pollens. They are producing the pollens, that is male parts. Okay, male parts, they are producing the pollens. Okay, the number of stamen is usually the same as the number of petals. That means how many petals are there. How many petals are there? The same number. If the petals are 6, the anthers also 6. If the petals are more, then the anthers also more. Okay, the number of anthers are same as the number of the petals. Same as the number of the petals. Okay. Anther. This part of stamen produces and contains pollen. It is usually on top of a long stalk that looks like a fine hair. This is hair type structure. This is anther. This structure is called as anther. It's attached to a hair-like structure like this. Hair-like structure. If this is hair-like structure, it attaches like this. Okay. Next, when you come to filament, what they given? This is a fine hair-like structure that holds the anther. It holds the anther. This is hair-like structure. Hair means this is our hair-like structure that holds the anther. That holds the anther. I hope you understand what are the male parts. Male parts are filament and anther. They include both. They are called as stamen. Including both, they are called as stamen. That is filament and anther. Filament, anther produces pollens. Anther produces pollens. Okay. Pollen producing part of the flower. These are the pollen producing part of the flower. This filament holds this anther. This filament holds this anther. When you come to the female parts, they include stigma, style, ovary and ovule. Once again I will repeat. Stigma, style, ovary and ovule. All these included is called as pistil. They are called as pistil. Okay. They are called as the female part. Female part of the flower. Now we will go through what are the functions of this female part. What are the functions of this female part? pistil. This is the female part of the flower. It is made up of stigma, style, ovary and ovule. Then what is stigma? It is the sticky bulb visible at the center of a flower. Sticky bulb visible at the center of a flower. It traps and holds the pollen. Pollen germinate on stigma. Pollens. It traps and holds the pollen which are produced here in the anther, male part. It holds them and these pollens germinate on stigma. These pollens germinate on stigma. Next, style. This is also it is a tube-like structure that holds up the stigma. This style holds up this stigma. This is a tube-like structure. Next, ovary. It is usually situated at the bottom of the flower. It has seeds present inside them that turns into fruits. This is ovary. This is ovary. Okay, I hope you understand. This, what is the function of that? It has seeds present inside them. It has seeds present inside them and turn into fruits. Next, it turns into fruits. Then ovule, the part of the ovary that becomes seeds. This is the ovule that becomes seeds. When you cut some fruits, you find the seeds. They are formed by this ovule. Okay, they are formed by this ovule. Okay, now once again I will explain. The male parts are stamen, that is filament and anther. Female parts are pistil. They include stigma, style, ovary, ovule. These are the male and female parts of the flower. Male and female parts of the flower. In the higher classes, when you go, you will understand in deep with them. Now they have given very brief, that means very small introduction to you what are the male and female parts of the flower. Okay. This filament and anther, this filament holds this anther. Okay, here stigma, style holds this stigma, ovary, that is the fruit part of the flower, then this ovule, that seeds. It forms into, it germinates into, next it converted into seeds. These are the male and female parts. Next we will go other parts. Next we will go other parts of flower. They are petal and sepal. Petal and sepal. What is a petal? It is the colorful and bright part of a flower. It is the colorful and bright part of a flower. It attracts pollinators. It attracts the pollinators like insects and humans. Like insects and humans. That is why we buy and enjoy flowers. We buy and enjoy flowers. Next, sepal. What is this? Sepal, the green and small parts that have leaf-like structure. The green and small parts that have leaf-like structure at the base of a flower. At the base of a flower, it covers the outside of a flower bud for protecting and flower before it blooms. Before it blooms. When that it is in the form of a bud, it protects the sepals. Sorry, it protects the petals. It protects the petals. Okay, this sepal protects this flower, whole the flower. Not only petals, whole the flower it protects when it is in the form of bud. After this blooming, okay, this sepal comes down and the flower will blooms. Okay. Now you understand the other parts of flower also, which are them petal and sepal. Okay, I hope you understand very well what are the male and female parts and other parts of a flower. Now we go for types of flowers. Types of flowers. I will read, just you go through page number 7 only. Types of flower. Imperfect flower. A flower that has either all male parts or all female parts but not both in the same flower is known as imperfect flower. Example, the flowers of cucumber, pumpkin and watermelon. A flower that has either all male parts or all female parts but not both in the same flower is known as imperfect flower. Example, the flowers of cucumber, pumpkin and watermelon. Okay. Next, perfect flower. A flower that has both male parts and female parts. Flower is known as perfect flower. Example, the flowers of rose, lily and dandelion. Dandelion. So what are the types of flowers? They are given perfect and imperfect flower. So types of flower. First one is imperfect. Imperfect flower. Second one is perfect flower. So what is the meaning of imperfect and perfect? I will explain. Imperfect means a flower which has only either male or female parts. Female parts, either male or female only. They don't have both. They are called as imperfect flower. Imperfect flower. And what is a perfect flower? The flower which has got both male and female. Both male and female parts in that, they are called as perfect flowers. I hope understand. Imperfect means they contain only either male or female. Either male or female, they are called as imperfect flowers. When they contain both, that is male as well as female, male as well as female. Okay, male as well as female, they are called as perfect flowers. They are called as perfect flowers. Flowers produce a sweet energy drink called nectar. Flowers produce a sweet energy drink called nectar. Okay, they have given in the remembrance. I hope you understand what is a perfect flower and imperfect flower. Now, this is what type of flower this is? This is perfect flower because it consists male parts as well as female parts. So, this is a perfect flower. I hope you understand very well. Next we will go for pollinators. We go for pollinators. Pollinators are the mediums that carry nectar or pollens from one flower to another. Bats, bees, wasps, birds and butterflies are some common pollinators. By visiting flowers in search of food, nectar and pollen, pollinators help in the reproduction of most flowers. Bats. These natural flying mammals are attracted to flowers that are white or pale in color, large in size and have strong fruit-like fragrance. Bees and wasps, they have very high energy needs and prefer flowers that are brightly colored, full of nectar and are aromatic. Next, beetles. They prefer flowers with lots of pollen, dull white or green in color and mild in odor. They also eat garden pets. Hummingbirds. These birds are attracted to flowers that are bright and open during the day. They prefer flowers that have little or no odor. Their diet is 90% nectar. Okay, flies. There are more than 100 crops that depend on regular visits from flies, which are key pollinators. They prefer stinky flowers which are pale, dull or drab in color. Next, moths. These are nighttime pollinators. They prefer flowers that are shaped like landing pads, visiting flowers in the dark. They are attracted to strong, sweet and scented nighttime blooming flowers muted in color. Muted in color. Okay, we will go one by one. What are the pollinators? Pollinators are the mediums. That means which they carry pollen grains to stigma. They carry here to here. They carry the carry things or carry one are called as pollinators. They are called as pollinators. The pollinators are the mediums that carry nectar or pollens from one flower to another flower. Pollens from one flower to another flower. Okay, the examples are bats. The examples are bats. The examples of pollinators are bats, okay, bees, wasps, 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 birds, wasps and birds, butterflies, butter, butterflies are some common pollinators. Still more are there, but we are given only 5 examples here. Unless in the when you go through in the lesson, another more will come. Okay, first we will go for bats. These are the pollinators. These are the names of the some pollinators. Some pollinators. When you come to these pollinators, how they will do? Pollinators help in the reproduction of the most flowers. Reproduction. That means to produce once again themselves. So these pollinators help in that process, that is reproduction. Bats, the natural flying mammals. That means they are flying. Bats are flying in the night only, not in the day. They are natural flying animals. That means they are flying in the night only, not in the day. They are attracted to flowers that are white or pale in color. They attract white flowers. They are attracted by white flowers. The flowers which attract bats are white flowers only. They are attracted by white flowers. Okay. Are pale in color, large in size. That means they have some big flowers and have strong fruit-like fragrance. The fragrance of the flower should be like fruit fragrance. Fruit fragrance. Then only they are attracted by these bats. Which one? Flowers are attracted by these bats. Okay, the bats search white flowers which are large in size, as well as their fragrance should be like fruit fragrance. Fruit fragrance. Fragrance means smell. Okay, fruit fragrance. Next, bees and wasps. Bees and wasps. What? They have very high energy needs and perfect flowers that are brightly colored. They go for these brightly colored flowers full of nectar and are aromatic. Full of nectar. That means they need nectar more. Okay, these bees. What they will do next? They will store that in the honey, and that we will get from that nectar is converted into honey and we will use it. Once again we use it by these bees. Okay. Next, beetles. They prefer flowers with lots of pollen, dull white or green in color and mild in odor. That means very less smell. Okay. They also eat garden pets. That means the small insects they will eat by these beetles. Next, hummingbirds. These birds are attracted to flowers that are bright and open during the day. That hummingbird, it is very smallest bird in the world. This hummingbird, it is attracted by the flowers that are bright and open during the day only. Because this hummingbird flies in the day only, it is active in the day only. But these bats are active in the night. Okay, they prefer flowers that have little or no odor. Their diet is 90% nectar. This hummingbird depends on 90% on nectar only. If you don't eat anything, it depends on nectar only. When you come to flies, there are more than 100 crops that depend on regular visits from flies, which are key pollinators. That means in the crops, they are pollinated by these flies. These flies, they prefer stinky flowers which are pale, dull or drab in color. They prefer stinky flowers which are pale, dull or drab in color, but their work is pollinating the crops that are more than 100 crops. More than 100 crops are pollinated by these flies. Next, moths. These are nighttime pollinators. These moths are nighttime pollinators. They prefer flowers that are shaped like landing pads. Landing pads means which has to be landed like this. The flower should be land like this. The insect should be land on the flowers. Okay, landing means like this. The aeroplane is landing, the helicopter is landing. No, like this they have wanted like the flowers which are landing parts. Visiting flowers in the dark, they are attracted to strong, sweet and scented nighttime blooming flowers. Some flowers are in the nighttime only they will bloom. Okay, and their smell comes, for example, that what you call it as jasmine. Okay, and sweet and scented nighttime. Sweet, that nectar should be sweet and flowers muted in color. Okay, I hope you understand what is the pollinators. What are the pollinators? Next we go for pollination. We go for pollination. This is the very important process, pollination. I will read page number 9 only. Pollen is the flower's way of making more flowers. They are powdery grains made by the male part of a flower. Plants need both male pods and female pods to make a new seed which grows into a new plant. Plants have both the male and female pods in a single flower. The male part of a flower makes the pollen, the female part of the flower makes the eggs, makes the egg. Okay. Here they have given the pollination. Pollen is the flower's way of making more flowers. Pollen. Here, this pollen here it produces. Okay. It is the way of more flowers. They are powdery grains. When you touch this one and just you touch it, you take some that hibiscus flower and you touch this pollens, you will attach it by a yellow color powder type method, powder type material, that is the pollens. That is the pollens. Plants need both male parts and female parts to make a new seed. That means it needs male parts as well as female parts to produce the fruit as well as the seeds. To produce the fruit as well as the seed. Okay. The male part of a flower makes the pollen. The female part of the flower makes the eggs. Here they are given in the figure. This is anther that is touched by the butterfly, and it once again, this is the pollinator. When it comes the contact with the stamen, it pollinates. These pollens are having gummy like structure and it is attracted by this stamen that sticks to the stamen. From anther to butterfly's legs or butterflies to stamen. Okay. Pollinators such as, here they are given, pollinators such as bats, bees and wasps, birds are needed for the reproduction of over 90% of flowering plants and 1/3 of human food crops. That means these pollinators, what I have explained before, they are very important. Pollinators such as bats, bees and wasps, birds are needed for the reproduction of over 90% of flowering plants. 90% of flowering plants and 1/3 of human food crops. Okay. Plants are reproduced by seeds, spores and vegetative propagation. Next, how this pollination will happen? Here they are given. Pollinators love to drink the sugary sweet nectar that is made by flowers at the base of the pistil. Pollinators move from flower to flower in search of sweet nectar. Pollination is the way through which the pollen from the male part of a flower gets to the eggs in the female part of a flower to form a seed. seed. When pollinators go in to suck up the nectar, they brush against one another and get pollen on their bodies. When they land on a flower, the pollen are rubbed off their body onto the pistil. If the pollen ends up near the opening at the top of the pistil, the pollen make their way down the pistil to the egg. When the egg and pollen meet, a seed is formed. A seed has everything it needs to form a new plant. Here I have explained what are the pollinators and what are the pollination. Okay. Now we'll go in brief. Pollinators love to drink. What are the pollinators do? They are love to drink the sugary sweet nectar that is made by these flowers. These flowers are this anther or this stigma. The sweet things which are produced by these anthers are stigma. Okay. On the base of the pistil, pollinators move from flower to flower in search of sweet nectar. They move from one flower to another flower in search of this nectar. At that time, what happens? Pollination is the way through which the pollen from the male part of a flower, pollen from the male part of a flower gets to the egg in the female part of the flower to form a seed. From here to transfer here. From here to here only it is transferred by these pollinators. It is transferred by pollinators. This anther here it produces the what we call it as pollen. It produces the pollen and this pollen transfers to the stigma to form the seeds. Pollen on their bodies. See here, they brush against one another and get pollen on their bodies. When it sits here or fly through this pollen, they will stick to the body of that pollinators. When it sits on this stigma, when that insects or pollinators sits on this stigma, what happens? That pollens will transfer to this stigma, attracted by this stigma, attached to this stigma. Okay, when they land on a flower, the pollen are rubbed off their body onto the pistil. If the pollen ends up near the opening or the top of the pistil, the pollen make their way down the pistil to the egg. That pollen travels through here. Okay, and comes here and forms the ovule and meet with the ovary and forms the seeds. Okay. The pollen make their way down to the pistil to the egg. When the egg and the pollen meet, a seed is formed. When the egg and pollen meet, the seed is formed. That means what the pollen is attached to the legs or body of the pollinators, that is insects, bats or anything. It is when it come contact with this stigma, that butterfly or bat or bee or anything, that pollen once again sticks to this and it travels through this style and it meets with ovary and it forms the eggs or the seeds. Okay. A seed has everything it needs to form a new plant. That means a seed is the thing which needs to form another one plant. When you sow the seeds, you will get new plant. So I hope you understand what are the male parts, female parts, what are the pollinators, how the pollination will occur. Okay. I will briefly explain in the next class also once again this one. Okay. I hope you understand very well. Okay. If any doubts are there, I will clarify in the next class also, and this class also I will clarify. Okay. I hope you understand very well. Thank you. Take care. Thank you.